Talk about a big turnaround here. The forecast, even from Pegasa, was showing a typhoon 12 hours ago. Now they just have this as a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm east of Mindanao, not even showing a landfall even at this point. So what happened? Well, our tropical depression, still being called that by Pegasa and the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, is getting this dry air and the shear just working into it and really disrupting it. Let's look at the satellite imagery here, that convection just east of Yap. But yesterday, this was a lot more widespread. It was over a wider air area. We even had some pretty decent low-level rotation in there. It's not very evident at all today. This has just been sheared apart. ASCAT imagery even showing this broad circulation as well. So yeah, the low-level center's there, but boy, it is absolutely struggling. Reason why, that is Pegasa's forecast. It has changed up from showing an actual typhoon at landfall to this, which is JTWC showing maybe a tropical storm, but they keep it as a tropical depression, fighting that dry air, fighting that shear. I think they keep it as that storm because don't forget, the Philippine Sea effect is just always so surprising out here sometimes. And sometimes it just goes and defies the model outlook. And I think that's why JTWC is still keeping that just remote chance of this strengthening prior to landfall here because of sea surface temperatures out there. If it does escape that shear line, which you can see right in here, see all the way back towards the east, reason why Manila's seeing all these heavy showers out there, that is our shear line continuing to influence towards the north and helping to bring some of this dry air just south of that. So you have that set up there. You got our heavy rain, which is still going to come on shore and actually bring some pretty decent showers here because of the interaction with the northeast monsoon. I mean, I've been talking about that for days and days and days now. It's not so much the center of circulation, but it's that interaction towards the north. In fact, let's scoot this over a little bit of closer look. This is from Windy, ECMWF, showing you, still places like Siargao, you can see about 100, 200 millimeters. Eastern areas of Samar, all the way back here towards Catanduanes, east coast of Legazpi. Look at that, seeing about 1 to 200 millimeters. So, this is enough to definitely cause some flooding out here. We're not going to see, super typhoon wind damage. And I don't want to hear from people thinking that this was hyped up. I can't even count how many times, less than 5, that I've said the word typhoon in these updates. Definitely not super typhoon. I kept on stressing, this is weak. It is going to take its sweet time developing. It's interacting with that shear towards the north that I had to overcome. Could intensify as it pushes off here towards the west, and it does look like the weaker end of these scenarios. Even, like I mentioned, Pegasa had this as a typhoon. They were very aggressive with their first advisory, backing it off here just a bit. Now, with all of that said, I'm not going to rule out still that strengthening. Actually, let's take a look at what the ECMWF is still showing here. That shear line towards the north, and then it kind of rolls here west, and it still has this wrapping up just a little bit, enough to definitely bring some nasty weather to the east coast of Mindanao for hopefully that front hooks this north, and it just starts to linger. Look at that. And this would definitely be interesting. If it lingers off the east coast here over the weekend, you get that effect just rolling in north of that. Definitely still could cause problems for southeastern Luzon and eastern areas of Visayas. So look at that. It would just be an interaction between that shear line setup and our low. That would actually bring a lot of rainfall and would be very, very messy for our friends out across this area here. So, yeah, we're backing off from that intensity forecast right now. And remember, the intensity forecast, the hardest part of these forecasting. I mean, the track's right online with this low pressure center, but there still definitely is some impacts to be had here in the extended outlook. And you can just take a look at this. I mean, I've showed this graphic in every update. Those windy conditions across Yap and Palau as our storm system wraps up, rolls off here towards the west, impacts the east coast, and then now over the weekend, you have that interaction with the monsoonal flow back towards the north, creating those heavy showers across the southeast coast of Luzon and Visayas. Not a super typhoon, guys. Maybe a tropical storm, something like that, where you're going to see a lot of heavy rainfall. So I think that's the theme of this particular update, is this is not going to be a super typhoon. It's got a lot of shear working against it, but it still could cause some problems. And I'm still happy that JTWC and Pegasa are warning on this. JMA, which they are the official agency of the Western Pacific, you know, they're the ones that are supposed to be in charge of this stuff, just decided, nah, we ain't going to talk about it. And they canceled their advisories on it right out. I think that was a mistake. I think they should still have something on it for at least Palau and Yap. If they want to be the RSMC, the WMO, the World Meteorological Organization official agency, especially if other agencies are talking about it. But that's my humble opinion. So props to Pegasa, sir. Still warning on this, even outside of the PAR. They got some great people there doing a great job. So that's all for today, guys, or this particular update as you get up this morning in the Philippines bright and early. Hopefully you got a nice cup of coffee like me. Stay safe out there. And, you know, all that said, we're still seeing some pretty decent showers on the southern areas of Luzon and today because of the aforementioned shear line. I mean, we just kind of pop that up here. Let's go back to this graphic. See, look at that. All of this rainfall. Let's pull up the infrared enhanced satellite imagery. Yeah, I got some pretty decent showers all across this area, which is why, you know, in the flyover, we do have that rain in Mindanao. We scoot off there. Look at places like Rojas, 30 degrees, Legazpi, 29. Showers and thunderstorms there, and even over towards Manila. North of that line, though, things are dry for the most part across northern Luzon, albeit a bit breezy thanks to that northerly flow in the wind. So, yeah, just wanted to mention that. Even well away from that center of circulation, we are getting kind of still some showers out here across the Philippines. But, yeah, I'll pull back the picture real quick, and you can see kind of what I'm talking about here with that overall flow with the surge coming in like this right there. There's your shear line. There's your area here getting that disrupted. Then we have Invest 96W, and we also have a cyclone in the southern hemisphere keeping an eye on, but that is headed towards south. No worries out in the western Pacific. So, yeah. All right, guys. Woof. Like I've been saying, prepare, don't panic. It's staying relatively weak, which is great news, and that is the theme of this update. As always, thanks for watching, and of course, stay safe out there.